we've hinted around Seth Henigan a little bit. Let's talk about him because it's been a very big topic of conversation for us throughout this season. We felt like after that Boise State game, maybe he had turned things around because that was a lot of people saying that was the best game he had played in his career.
But Boise State's just not that good.
They're not.
And
then he turns around.
Sidebar.
Throws an early interception, was really struggling. Then he leads the touchdown drive where he goes 3 of 3 for 85 yards and throws a touchdown on that drive.
Demir looked good.
Yeah, Demir looked really good. And some of the throws that he made were incredible. The throw to Demir, fading off the back foot, perfect. The throw that he made to Kobe Drake in the back of the end zone, beautiful. That's the one where he's fading off his back foot. But you can't have the Jekyll and Hyde, and that's what it is.
I want to get something out of the way first because I see a lot of this sort of trickling throughout the fan base. Can we address the Tevin Carter thing really quick?
Yeah.
Like, respectfully to Tevin, I think Tevin's a hell of a talent. He likely is. Based on what's on the roster and what this team could be going forward. If I don't know what's going to happen with Seth, he's got one more year, of course, but then you're going to have contingencies and plans for after that. Tevin could be the future quarterback of the University of Memphis. But the thought of Tevin Carter seizing the opportunity and being the starter for this team is a far out one.
Yeah.
And I think it's a desperate one that's trickling throughout the fan base.
Yeah, Seth gives him the best chance to win right now.
Seth Henigan is the best quarterback in that quarterback room right now.
Yes.
And there's no doubt about it. If you sell to me, which I have sold this on multiple occasions, is just a switch up and a little bit of fun. If you want a Tevin Carter package around the goal line in the red zone, do some things, try to use his legs, throw the defense a little bit of creativity, which has been lacking, I think, in a lot of ways from Tim Cramsey. Sure, do that. But the thought that it's like time to give Tevin Carter a chance over Seth through Seth's struggles, that falls on deaf ears for me. I think that's absolutely insane. Now that that's out of the way, I don't think Seth has progressed since his freshman year, and I think that's pretty obvious. I think he's regressed in a lot of ways
especially turnovers. That's the biggest one.
In managing how he throws the ball and where he throws the ball and the timeliness of throwing said ball. I think he has regressed in putting the ball in harm's way. That much is very obvious, but there's a lot of reasons that could be the case. I see some people say Tim Cramsey and maybe a lack of innovation. I think there's something to be said about a guy who's in his third year of starting who doesn't really have that push behind him. Maybe there's a little complacency and he feels like, oh, hey, I can take these chances. This is my job. I've earned this job. I'm getting older. I need to start taking these type of chances. You could make that case, but there's a lot of excuses.
We can throw away the lack of weaponry conversation now, right?
Yeah, you could say lack of weaponry, no, right? But like, I think all of those excuses to me completely just throw them out the window. In the end of the day, this is Seth putting the ball in harm's way more than he has in his career, and I think there's regression, and it's got to fall on Seth's shoulders to be able to change those things. We've seen him play good ball, like against Boise State. And we've also seen him play turnover-prone ball, like against Tulane, Mizzou. So he's got to take it on his own shoulders, and I don't think that any of these excuses need to be there needs to be no validity to them, right? And I agree with the fact that Tim Cramsey and this offense can be more creative and more innovative. I'm fully there. I agree that the run game needs to be better. But we're on year 3 of him not having a run game.
Right.
And now he's starting to put the ball in harm's way. It's on him more than anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. Yes, everything that you're saying as far as the creativity and all that, yes, that's one conversation, but turnovers don't come from a vanilla or lack of creativity on offense. They just come from, most of the time, bad ball placement.
Yes.
Or bad reads.
Yes.
Now, there are obviously cases where balls bounce off hands and, crazy stuff happens.
And I saw some people do. He's running out of bounds on an out route.
Right.
That ultimately falls on Seth's shoulders.
Yeah, so you can't place turnovers on an offensive system. It's not a valid reason. And I don't know if it's Seth.
You can place bad offense on an offensive system.
Yes.
And the lack of sort of explosiveness, running game, all those other things. Place that directly on the offensive system. 7 picks?
Yeah.
No. Can't do it.
That's on ball placement. And
That's on 2. That's on number 2 himself.
Yeah. So